Hello, guys, and good evening. Welcome to our sixth ICT 410 session this evening. Our topic for this evening is about Windows account. So first things first, our objectives are as follows. Number one, discuss the importance of Windows account. Number two, value the importance of Windows account. And number three, understand the basic concept and structures of Windows account. First of which is the user account creation and creating a separate user account for each employee in Windows 10. That's each person adjust his or her individual profile settings. And to create a new user account in Windows 10, we're going to follow the steps. Actually, I have listed down all the steps in your module. You can check it out later. Now for our demo. Okay, so you can see there the steps. What you're going to do is to right-click the Windows Start Menu button. Your Start Menu button is found on your left side bottom screen. Then you're going to right-click it, and you have to select Control Panel. Okay, so if ever Control Panel is not listed down here, what you're going to do is to type Control Panel on the Then after that, what you're going to do is to select user accounts, this one. And user accounts is actually found here. And what you're going to do is to click user accounts. Then you have to click manage another account. So you're going to click this one. Then after next is what you're going to do is to click add a new user account in your PC. So this one. After you have clicked this, what happens is this one. You can this created another account for your in your Windows 10 PC. Okay. So I think there are 6 steps, and you can just follow this while you're doing your user account. Now, for the reason of having a user account, another user account is that, for example, if you are sharing your PC or your laptop with other users, such as persons in your home, and you only have one laptop, and you have to share with them. You can create a user account just because to protect your files and to configure several things. Like for example, you have to protect your files and the softwares that you have installed, just because it is very important, or it is part of your work, or you need to manage the resources of your laptop to other users. So that's the reason why you are going to create another user account. So in your activity number 11, what you're going to do is to refer to your user account creation and perform the following steps. So the steps are found there. There are 6 steps, and you can just screenshot your process and copy paste it to Microsoft Word and convert it to PDF before upload it in your Google Classroom. So you have to label it as activity 11. Okay. Now for EULA, short for End User License Agreement. End User License Agreement is the agreement between you and the software manufacturer, wherein you put into contract the software which is purchased by you from an intermediary retailer, EULA or End User License Agreement specifies in details the rights and restrictions which apply to the use of the software. And EULA usually is very lengthy, so you have to scroll down to read the agreement, no? And it is written in highly specific legal language, making it difficult for the average user to give informed consent. So if the company designs the end user license agreement in a way that intentionally discourage user from reading them, so you don't know the contents of it, what happens is it might be that you must share your file or details, no? Yeah, data nyo. Especially sa mga software guys nga free that you're using, like for your Facebook and your TikTok. So, kay libre siya, what happens is that sometimes those companies, I'm not saying that they're doing this, no? But most probably, they're using, they're data mining all your information. Ang video nga ginimo nyo sa TikTok, ang mga post ninyo sa FB nga halin pa karang 2010 or something, sa mga years past, those things are recorded and eventually shared with you. Shared, I mean, by the manufacturer or by the um, authorities coming from those software providers, and they're selling your data to third-party consumers. So that's what happens kung libre ang software nga ginagamit. And most probably, makita ninyo sa mga libre ninyo nga Facebook or sa mga libre ninyo nga TikTok or ano, nga may mga advertisement sa mga phones nyo. Just because dira sanda naga buol kaanda nga kita, no? So matingala ka insa nga libre man dya, paano sanda magganar ka mga ano. So sa mga advertisements. So those are usually happening for the first. That is why you have to read the EULA first, so that you can actually say if you wanted to share your data to other third-party vendors. Now we have here the comparison with free software licenses and EULA. That is an issue because sometimes those free softwares has basically a contract which has an extension to existing legislation, meaning to say depende kung ano nga country. That is why insa nga naghambal ya Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas nga pwede nanda or BIR pagid nga taksa nanda ya dang Axie Infinity, no? So it's because of the EULA, and ang Axie na mismo naghambal nga sa country sa Philippines ma-abide sanda sa laws nga nag-govern. Haiti ang users nanda, most of the users coming from the Philippines is basically binded by the accordance with the law kung ano, kung diin kita nga lugar na ano. So that is why kung content creator ikaw, like sa YouTube or ano, it varies from different territories, no? Kay ang naman ko sa Japan tana ang mga YouTuber nga Filipino, besides sa obra nanda gina-declare ginanda kung piraya kita nanda sa YouTube per month ay ginataxan sa ka Japanese government. So amo mada guys, no, di ka naton the Philippines has the legal implication regarding with the ano kay nagakita ka mo content creator ka. So the same thing as the EULA nga ginatawag, wherein it binded you to the use of the software provided they stipulated on the contract there that they are going to use your data or information regarding you. So mudagan ihambal nga mas kilala pa ikaw ka Facebook or TikTok kaysa kilala ikaw ka ginikanan ninyo. Ay ginikanan ninyo tana, nang makita na kamo sa balay nyo, maistoryahanay, pero wala ka ga-share ka mga information sa parents nyo. Unlike sa social media, nga mas grabe pa ang share mo, kada liki nyo, ga post, kada kaon nyo, ga picture kapag kaon. Kag kun ano yung ginahimo ninyo. So mas kilala pa kamo ka Facebook, ka TikTok, kaysa ginikanan ninyo. So more than anything else, one thing that is EULA is being implemented is through the use of the reverse engineering ang ginatawag. So what is this reverse engineering? This is often called reverse engineering lang nga pasosyal nga hambal, but in other sense, this is called piracy. So manaan nyo man, mga China, sa China, reverse engineer nandaya kung mga softwares, mga cellphones, mga kung ano pa, hardware and software. So basically, it's stipulated there to protect the product or the software that is being utilized by corporations. So that is to protect from reverse engineering. Now, pero maskin may amo pa kadaa, I think ang piracy is rampant man gyapon, considering the movement of some people that they wanted to have a free space on the internet, which is kind of understandable because some softwares are mahal gid man. Kung baklon ninyo dollar man siya. So more than enough if you wanted just to try the software or to use it nga free. So why not resort to something like that? But sad to say guys, that is illegal, no? And if you are going to do that in the Philippines, I think why pa man it minadakpan nga, no? Pero naging prosecute party sa software sa reverse engineering or ano. Pero sa ibang nga lugar rampant ni siya. So that is one protection for software company, ang EULA nga ginatawag. And in some hindsight, some critics highlighted the privacy implications of end user license agreement. Gina-deprive ko no anda nga privacy, no? And many include clauses that allow the computer or device to provide information to third party on a regular basis without notifying the consumer. So mo daya masaklap dyan. Kilala pa kita gani ambal ko ka Facebook or ka TikTok kaysa ginikana naton. Okay, so on your activity number 12, what you're going to do guys is you're going to refer to EULA or the end user license agreement. In your computer, what you're going to do is to run a software. Ang ginalagas na natin isang license agreement. I-screenshot nyo man lang siya, ang license agreement, and then that's your activity 12 already. So you have to convert it to PDF and upload it to our Google Classroom. Okay? And for the code of the day, guys, the question is, so listen carefully, what is the Korean series in Netflix which uses elaborate children's game in a thriller plot? So I think nalantaw na dumandaya no nami daya nga thriller. So ad astra per sapiensya, and it means to the stars through knowledge. So thank you guys for attending our lecture for this evening and the demo of the user account and including the EULA. And I hope that you learned something out of it. And I think it's basically one of the important things about nga topic sa subject nato nga daya no ICT 410. And it's because you are introduced to some user accounts, application and implication, which means that you are someday in your field of work, you may do some user account for privacy, or you may do a user account to separate your personal necessities and the work necessities, ang sa obra mo kag ang kanimo. And ang user account mainly guys will change its features because we are upgrading to Windows 10 already, Windows 11 already. Pero I suggest you don't update anay just because nga masyado pa katemprano. What I mean by masyado pa katemprano is may mga laptop kag softwares nga nagapalpak kay tungod ng upgrade sa Windows 11. So there are bug fixes pa. And please wait until, I think para kanakon personally, I want to wait until March of next year para mag-upgrade sa Windows 11. Nang stable na gid balaya ng the installer para sa Windows 11. Pero if you're in a hurry and your computer is new and you wanted to go on update, pwede man. Just make sure to back up all your files and softwares. So you can use, I can recommend several softwares for backup, no? Ang Acronis True Image. Alantawa lang ninyo i-google lang ninyo, no? Acronis. May dyan man nga iban ang tune-up utility. Kag iban pa nga nag-provide ka mga mirroring services. So ang ginobra niya is ginakopy niya ang sulod kay inyong computer, gina-clone niya. And then if ever you wanted to change or to back up it just because nga kung i-upgrade nyo ang Windows 10 ninyong laptop, it might be nga magpalpak siya. So or iba ng installation hindi magana. So you have a fallback or the backup of your files. Meanwhile, on EULA naman, EULA stands for End User License Agreement, and it's very important that you read the EULA before entering into a downloading of softwares. Maskin sa phone ninyo guys, no? Lantawa lang ninyo. So you can do EULA on the phone man. Depende sa software nga gina-install or ang sa applications nga install ninyo. So it's a good thing that you read first, just to know your rights, to have free information on those things, and it might be that some companies are selling your information. So trivia lang, ang Facebook kuno next week islan na kuno ngaran, wa ikukmaan kung ano yung ngaran ka Facebook doon. So base lain naman ang ngaran or improved na version ka Facebook or i-upgrade wa itakamaan. Ang nabasahan ko lang kagina is isla nanda ko no yung aran sa Facebook. Ilam ko matuod or hindi. Pero amo din nabasahan ko. So do you have any questions guys regarding our activity? Both activity 11 and activity number 12? Okay, no more wine man siguro, no? Do you have any concerns about our subject? Hapos man lang guys ang activity natin for this week. Ang EULA man lang kag user account creation. So it's very easy and you can just perform it. Anyway, the steps are there already on your module 6 and mahapos lang siya. So thank you guys for attending our class this evening, no? If you don't have any questions until dyan lang kita. And if you have some inquiry or suggestions, you can just PM me directly, or you can write your inquiry there in your FB group. So good evening sa tanan. Thank you Gid sa pag-attend, and see you next week, okay? Okay, so thank you guys. I'm gonna stop now the recording, and